It's a lot of hostility, that a lot of people, including professors, call me Nazi. I've had a teacher fail me for making something about Israel. My name's Halle. I was born and raised here in Colorado, northern Colorado, and I was homeschooled. My parents homeschooled my brother and I through up until basically high school. Everything up until I was in high school was very based in the Old Testament, based in God, based in everything biblical. My parents really took the Shema into their heart. They taught us that. We had mezuzahs on our door because my parents never wanted us to forget that that is where our history began. That's where Christianity began. So we celebrated Passover, we celebrated the Seder, all those things. I was passionate about the Bible, but I hadn't yet grown to a point where I connected modern day Jews, modern day Israel with the people of the Bible. Before October 7th, I went to Israel in January of that year, and that is really when it all came to me that I was like, I knew it was a problem before it escalated. And so I came back and I wanted to speak up for the Jewish people and I wanted to advocate for them. I wasn't quite sure yet how to. And then October 7th happened. And I remember feeling very overwhelmed. Immediately we saw post-October 7th how anti-Semitism spiked and campus became often unsafe for Jewish students. And so I wanted to do something. And a company, Israel 365, reached out to me over Instagram. And they asked if I wanted to go back post-October 7th. The first day when we landed, we went to a Purim celebration with the refugees from the north. And seeing, little kids, 4 years old, 5 years old, grandparents, families that have been displaced since October 7th. They haven't gone home. Kids didn't have toothbrushes. They didn't have toys. They didn't have anything because they haven't been able to return home. They're under constant attack. And that was kind of a reality that I knew, but I didn't see it. I didn't understand it. So I came back and I just kept advocating on campus. I went with the rabbi to events. We had encampments on campus and we stood opposite the encampments and, held Israeli flags and sang verses and songs to try to advocate for the Jewish people and everything that was going on. One of my things I try to do when I'm advocating is never say no to an opportunity, because I think that's where you get connections and you make a difference. So I am at CSU and I'm in the art department, and that department tends to be very anti-Semitic. Even before October 7th, you could always find a swastika painted somewhere. And so it kind of just began as me, after October 7th, I would post posters of hostages, or I would post an educational poster. Often, pretty much always, they were ripped down and something else was put up that maybe shunned the message or scorned it. I'm also an artist, so on campus, I have the right to display in the galleries on campus. So I started making pieces reflecting on October 7th and reflecting on what it's like for a Jewish student now. It's a lot of hostility, that a lot of people, including professors, call me Nazi. I've had a teacher fail me for making something about Israel. For Jewish students, I know that some of my friends who are Jewish students have had their yarmulkes taken off their head. They've been cornered. A student the other day posted a hostage flyer in the library, and they were kicked out of their club for posting it. I think what surprised me most, though, was the hostility from Christians. Jesus calls us to love others. Loving others involves standing together and supporting them, especially his chosen people when they are being targeted and attacked. Start learning about what's going on, because it's imperative that we stand up right now, because the clock is ticking. It is a battle of rhetoric. It's a battle against right and wrong. And so it's important to stand up, to speak up, to reach out to people in any way that you feel like God's calling you to, because it's a matter of right and wrong.